QiYi has their line of cubes called Wu something. Finally, there's a 3x3, but the rest of them are already outdated. At least it's priced at $15, which is pretty good for it being magnetized. When I did my first turns on this cube, it was amazing. It didn't feel super fast, but also not slow at all. It felt quite stable and the corner cutting was great. There's also a really unique feel that I can only describe as clicky, but I've never used these types of words to describe cubes before. And I thought this had a lot of potential until I started turning fast. Then I ran into some problems. Usually on this cube I can turn fast and not really have problems, but every once in a while I run into something major, like I'll do an S slice for no reason. Or something that should corner cut just seems to not be able to sometimes. So taking a look at the corner cutting, you can see that it actually corner cuts pretty much everywhere, and this is on factory tensions, which is really nice. I don't feel like this is how it's behaving during solves or just when I'm turning really fast. But when I'm not turning that fast, just going more controlled, then this definitely feels like a really good cube. So I would assume for somebody averaging maybe around 20 or 30, this could actually be your favorite cube because it has a really unique feel and it is quite cheap, so it's also not bad to go for. As for fixing what's going on with fast returning, when the cube is looser, it should theoretically be maybe better, depending on how loose it gets, obviously. But what happens is the cube is already slightly unstable when I turn really fast, and when I make it looser, it just gets more unstable. When I make it tighter, the corner cutting's a little bit worse, but then in general, my errors aren't as bad. So I'm thinking I can't really make a perfect setting out of this cube, and by the way, I'm just changing the screw tightness because for $15, you don't get all that fancy stuff. For that reason, I won't be recommending the WuWei to anyone who is, say, sub 15 or faster. I'm sure there are people at this level who would like it, but I'd be more confident recommending a flagship that's more customizable, such as the MGC Elite, which is quite cheap for what it can do. Now, turning fast was a problem that made the cube unstable, but the cube, when I'm not turning that fast, is quite stable, so I thought it could be good for one hand. I got one good solve in competition with this because I don't really practice one-handed anymore. I may practice again soon one day. So for people faster than me, you may not agree with me on this. I'm just not turning that fast for one hand, which is why this cube is good. So for now, the WuWei is my one-handed main. The Dian Tangyun is $26, so considerably more, but it does fill a lot of similar purposes where a lot of top-level cubers wouldn't use it for two-handed, but a lot of mid-level cubers really do like it. Plus, people really like it for one-handed because it's quite fast and stable. And one thing it has over the WuWei is that it is super quiet, so it's my go-to cube for nighttime or when I'm leaving the house. And lastly, for the same price at $15, there is the MF3 RS3. I generally think cubes cheaper than this are worse than these ones by a margin. I don't like the MF3 RS3 that much either at a very high level, but if you are mid-level, again, it is really good as well. The difference is the RS3 is just much faster, while the WuWei is also fast, but not unnecessarily fast that it would be uncontrollable. So between these two, I don't like either of them that much, but I would recommend the WuWei because I think it's better for one-handed. It also is just less extreme, so it's more likely that you'd like it. So that's it for this review, and if you tried the WuWei, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.